Reggae Interviews. Word sound power.
This is DJ 745 here for Reggae Interviews. Now, earlier this week, I got the call that Mr. Vegas was in town, and I knew that I had to juggle a few things today to make it happen. Today, I'm linking up with a true dancehall icon whose unique style, unmistakable vocals have left a serious stamp on the game. With his big single Alive making waves right now, it's the perfect time to catch up and hear what's going on in 2025. How are we doing today, sir?
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. Appreciate you coming from so far to do the sit down. Yeah, man. Give thanks.
Hey, but you know what? There is such a big buzz on this single, this hot new single, Alive, year 2025. It's everywhere. So we kind of felt that the time was right to catch up and find out what's happening in 2025.
Well, we're just in the studio, getting ready to drop, a new album, getting ready to re-release Head's Eye album. Okay. I'm working on a project with one of the top female reggae singers. So that project, I think that project is going to be so good when we drop it. People just going to be blown away. I think that is my favorite thing that I'm working on in 2025.
Okay.
Yes, I.
Okay. Well, look, this new single, Alive, it talks of having gratitude, resilience and optimism, really encouraging people to embrace life. The rhythm is totally infectious. Yes. Tell us about the creation of Alive.
I was in the studio the last day for 2024. Yeah, okay. that was New Year's Eve. So the idea just came that I wanted something to introduce to the people for 2025. What can I do to make the people happy for 2025? What can I do for 2025 musically to let people forget about the bad things and the negative things that happened in 2024? Yeah. So and of course, I remember these festival songs, like from Rory and Give Thanks and Praises. We are 25, and that just clicked on me. I was like, whoa, 2025, we're alive. And I was just like, yo, put the beat on. And I started vibing, and the melody just came, because when you hear these type of dancehall beats, it just instantly gives you a lot of melodies because the way the beats are, they're just something in the spaces of the keyboard and the drums. It's just something there that you can fit that one melody or that 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. That's why we used to have 10 songs on the same beat. So I just heard the melody, in the beat, and I was like, dang, 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 dang. That felt like an instrument. I was actually like another instrument on the beat, and that's what it's always been with dancehall music. With Head's Eye, I was just another instrument on the beat. Even before I heard the beat, because the way we wrote music back then, it's like we heard melodies, and the melodies just some way, meshed with the beat when we heard them.
True. Now, this song that you're talking about, which I think has given you the inspiration, this was by Roy Rayon, and the song was called Give Thanks and Praises from the year 1987.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, I. And of course, iconic figures like Roy Rayon and Stanley and the Turbine, and all these great, Stinger Stewart, these great festival song singers. It's just marvelous that that we could still have those type of melodies, in 2025, and people still gravitating towards that type of melody, And I hear that some people say, "Oh, it sounds like a festival song. You should have entered festival with a song." Yeah, but if it were a situation where festival was like back in the days, where when you did a festival song, and after festival the song would have been like a big hit everywhere, but it's not like that anymore. After festival, it's done. Yeah, and we do not get the I don't think the artists, they get their recognition and the plays, and so forth. So I didn't, but if it were back in the days, and I had this song, it would have been in festival, because I love that. I love to see the people getting crazy, celebrating life and Jamaica and all of that vibe.
Yeah. And I think that, when I listen to this song, I get sort of like those vibrations of songs like I Am Blessed, and I kind of feel as though this song can play in the church as well as in the dances.
Yes, definitely. My brethren, who was a gospel DJ, he said, how come you didn't send me that song? And he played it for, I think, like 4 hours on the radio. He was just like, and people were calling in. And that was the start of, I said, yo, this is the start of something. And when I'm on the road now and I go to like radio stations to promote the song, just hearing it coming over the speakers, it just sounds, you know, like what music's supposed to sound like coming from Jamaica. It's the essence of it. It just reminds you of, you know, I want to go to Jamaica. I want to be in Jamaica. I want to go enjoy some of this nice food and this beach, and it gives you that vibe, Caribbean vibe, yeah.
Definitely. Now the single is out everywhere on MV Music, and I feel as though, you know, over the last sort of, you know, 27 years or something, you've kind of got this knack of making catchy dancehall music that appeals to people of all ages, colours and creed.
Yep. And it's deliberately done. Because I believe when you're making music, you know, when I'm making music, I look at the crowd. It's like there's an audience before me. So I'm performing to the audience from just making the song. If I'm just there and someone gives me a beat, like back in the days, people used to just be like sending you beats, and sometimes you take some money and you record because that's the way we earned back in the days. But like for now, when I'm doing a song, I'm looking at, will the crowd sing along to something? Will they be dancing? Will there be a part in the song that they can shout? You know, so that's why you have go, bad mind, go. You know, so I just wanted that. It's the same thing with I Am Blessed. You know, I am blessed. You know, the same vibe. I just get straight. You know, it's just the vibe.
The vibes, yeah. And there's also a great music video to accompany the single as well. I want you to talk a little bit about who Clive Snowball Brown is. Clive Snowball Brown
is one of our festival songs. He was a second place runner-up, yeah? The first place runner-up. He came second. His song was actually the most popular song not to win festival back then. You know, oh, Chiquita, love me, Chiquita. And the whole Jamaica was just singing that. It was on dub place with Stone Love. Sound system, you know, was clashing with, you know, his song. So I was there shooting the music video in the market because I just wanted to get like some food and vibe with the people. And this man came up behind me and he was trying to get my attention, like, you know, trying to check me for a thing. So I was like working, I was like, in the 2025 and we're alive. And he was just like, keep walking me down. And I was, you know, so then someone said, a Chiquita, that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. But it registered, but I was still like shooting. I didn't want to cut my thing. And then after, I was like, where is the man that was walking behind me? You know, because that's one of my favorite festival songs. So when he said Chiquita, it instantly clicked. So we left the market and I was driving to another location to do another shoot. Yeah, another scene. And I called the director and I was like, I want to go back and find Chiquita, because I call him Chiquita because of the song, you know. But his name is Clive. Yeah. So I said, I want to go back and find this man. Yeah. And I want to shoot something with him. Yeah. And it just instantly started clicking in my mind, like what I saw to the person that I knew growing up as the, you know, Chiquita on stage singing, the man that, you know, that festival looking flamboyant. I was like, yo, how can I create this now to let this man, you know, to remind him of who he really is. Yeah. So I went home and I had this suit that I wanted to be like one of the suits that my kids can like appreciate or whatever they want to do with it. It's just a memorable performance with that suit on Sting, where I rode a Honda 50 bike and I was in this suit, this green suit, and you know, it was like one of my favorite suits and one of my favorite concerts. So I was like, wow, it has the looks, everything. So I took down the suit and I was like, I'm gonna dress him up in this suit, and I just wanted to bring a smile to his face for the day, even for just one day or this moment. And I went and I searched for him, got the suit, and I went and I searched for him, and then we found him and we dressed him up, and he went and he showered and he put on the suit, and when I saw him coming out, I was like, yeah. And he was just all smiles, and I was like, this is what this song is about. Yeah. And after that, you know, I remember the same thing happened with Foxy Brown.
Yes.
That sing Sorry, the reggae version, that was real big. So I was shooting a music video down in Matches Lane, you know, downtown Kingston. And the same thing happened. You know, she came behind me and she was like, I'm in Foxy Brown. But I was shooting, so I didn't get to pin it. But by the time I looked around, she was gone. Yeah. And I heard of her story. I knew of her, you know, struggles and stuff like that. And I went in search for, you know, for her, me and my sister called Paradise. And then Paradise searched for her, and we found her. And we found her. She was not doing well, And it's just a whole vibe. We found her. We tried to get her some medical, and we tried to bring the attention to this situation. Be like, yo, these people are still alive. It's just like the song "Alive." They're alive, and we're gonna make sure that we do our part to bring back that joy, that smile, whatever they need to recover from, how we can play a part in that.
Now, you mentioned a moment ago Sting, and throughout your career, you've had many performance highlights. I mean, 2024, we had the Jam Rock Cruise, the Reggae Fest in Brooklyn. One performance that really stands out to me was in 2023 in Bessenbrook in Germany, Reggae Jam. Do you remember the Tree of Life?
Was it 23 or 24? It was 23? My God, time flies so much, man. I've always had great chemistry with the people at Reggae Jam. It's no disrespect to any other shows, but this is like one of my favorite places to perform. If I could perform at Reggae Jam every year, I would. It's just that there's so much chemistry there, and there's always something. As we were talking off here. 1 year it was the kid. And I saw him, and he was just singing my song, and I was like, come here, And he just was like, it was always that vibe, So the tree, I've always noticed that tree, and I've looked at that tree for years, because I've been performing at Reggae Jam for years. And I've been looking at this tree, and I was like, one day I'm going to get up in this tree. One day I'm going to get up there. And the moment was just right. The audience was, real receptive, that as always. And I was like, how can I climax this? I want to leave something here tonight that they will forever remember. And it was just that. They helped me to get up the tree. Yeah. And we just was like, I don't think I can ever top that anywhere, anytime. I think that is my cap.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, just to put this in context for our viewers, Mr. Vegas came off the stage at Reggae Jam. He jumped over into the crowd, and there was people going wild. You carried on going, and then there was this really big tree in front of the stage. You went right to the top of it, right. And then I think when you got to the top, you actually sat there and said, I've always wanted to do this from the first time that I came to Reggae Jam.
Yep. And I named it the Tree of Life. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, your shows, live shows, are always full of lots of energy. It's a real stage show. What does Mr. Vegas have to do to prepare for these shows, physically and mentally?
Well, as you can see, I try to stay in shape. Yeah, even now that I'm not training, but it's like a soccer player or a basketball player. It's your duty to stay in shape. So I'm not gonna come to a concert out of shape.
Okay.
Yeah. I think when it gets to that point where I cannot move on a stage, I want my kids to take over.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, if they want to. But I think as long as I'm able to, I'm gonna be in shape where I can deliver the performance that you're expecting. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're 50, 60 years old. When you come to my concert, you got to move.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to move. So and the music goes along with that. Like even this new song, Alive, I can't wait to perform it. Yeah, because I just know the energy from the song. I actually performed it one time in Jamaica. The first time I performed it in Jamaica, and it was like a lot of grown people, like senior citizens, and I just had them dancing, and they were moving their chair, and I was like, yeah, look at that, so I take pride in putting on a great show. And when I come to a concert, I've been doing this since day one, and I think I've learned to make it more better, to improve on it. Is to bring the Caribbean to my show. It's like, and I think this came from growing up, like in my earlier days of trying to break as an artist. I was introduced to cabaret singing, like on the North Coast, where I watched like people performed for like international audience, and the way they interacted with the crowd, and they gave the people like a whole different set of songs that you wouldn't even expect to hear in certain regions. So when I go to a hardcore dancehall concert, I'm dropping. You make me wanna jump around it. You know, I just have to do it. I just have to do it. You know, and then I remind them that, yo, this is where we're coming from. Oh, na 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 na. So I keep those songs alive. I remember I was at this carnival show, and the artist that I don't remember their name, they did the song Balance, balance, and they came to me like, thank you for, you know, playing our song worldwide, and thank you for playing our song worldwide. And that was good, a good feeling, because some people would have been like, yo, yeah, play my song, star, yeah, and they were just so appreciative of just hearing and seeing, because I play it like every chance I get to remind the people how beautiful our music is. You know, how beautiful these songs are, like, you know, not just from Jamaica, but from Trinidad, but from, you know, wherever in the region. Yeah, so I keep doing that, you know, just to make sure the music stays alive.
True. Now, we've been following your music journey from the 1990s. This is at a time when you used to go record shopping to discover new music. Now, without making you sound old, you've been dropping massive anthems for 27 years. Nike Air, Heads High, Pull Up, Jacket, Sweet Jamaica, Bruk It Down. The musical catalogue is immense. Which songs do you feel had the biggest impact on your career, and why?
Heads High, hands down.
Hands down.
Heads High. And I did not know I was going to top Heads High, or possible top Heads High. And I Am Blessed came. Yeah, but Heads High is the song. Like, when I recorded my first, you know, hit in Jamaica, Nike Air, yeah, it was a real big underground hit. People knew the song, but I said to myself, I needed the song. Like every artist, when you become a household name, you need the song. Yeah. So when Heads High, you know, when I recorded Heads High for Danny Brownie, and he said he just in the studio, he said it before all the other artists. It was like, this is the biggest song on the beat. He said it before the song was even released. And General Degree was in the studio, and he said, yeah man. And he also had a big song on the beat, you know, Traffic Blocking. And he concurred with Danny, you know, that this was the biggest song on the beat, and for a young artist, and it actually manifested. So Heads High is a song that just took Mr. Vegas worldwide. Everywhere, you know, if you say Mr. Vegas, you know, people know of Heads High. It was just massive, especially here in England. I remember performing at on Top of the Pops.
Yep.
Yeah, and there was like Destiny Childs, you know, and I was like, oh, look at Beyonce. You know, just like, yo, massive. You know, I met Spice Girls, you know, all the artists. I met Boy George. He was, and he was like, I know that melody. I was like, no, you don't. You know, so it was just like great, man, just to perform on some of these platforms, you know, and seeing the Heads High as a hardcore dancehall tune in the top 20 of the British charts. It's like, you know, people don't even recognize, I think, or appreciate, you know, at times how massive that was, because those were the days when it was like, when you get into that chart,
you're selling records.
Big time. Yeah, man.
I mean, these days, look, it seems to be really popular to say the 90s era that you came from was the best for dancehall. A bit like my t-shirt. Nostalgia or truth?
Truth.
Hands down.
Truth, 100%. It's not just nostalgic. It's nostalgic when we hear it and we appreciate it and we feel back the essence of it. But the truth is, nothing can top 90s dancehall. Nothing from the Caribbean. You know, it can play in Carnival. You know, we play it in Carnival. We play it at, you know, everywhere. You can just play 90s dancehall. And I've noticed of late, like 90s, early 2000 dancehall artists, they're back in demand.
Yeah.
Like I saw Capleton performing at a Unity Splash. Massive. There's no other one that have done a better performance than Capleton. He's good everywhere, but just at I was like, I watched the whole thing because I learned from these greats, like Beenie Man, Capleton, you know, Buju Banton. I still take lessons. Yeah. So when I saw Capleton, I was just like, yo, that is 90s. That was, yeah.
Your style of singing, for me, it always feels as though your melodies are really important. I mean, you make catchy songs that stick in our heads. You know, when we sort of think of songs like A Little Love, Sweet Jamaica, we had the All-Star remix as well. All those collabs that you've had over the years. I'm not even going to name the people that you've collabed with because there's so many. What do you think has been the sort of the key that really makes your songs stick in people's heads?
I think the same way how you will hear Stanley and the Turbine, the same way you will hear the greats, Alton Ellis and those artists. It's a unique sound. Yeah, because when you hear Mr. Vegas, you know that, oh, that's Vegas. Yep. So I think it's the unique vocals. I think it's the catchy melodies and so on, and the beats. Because without these beats, yeah, these songs may have never gotten this far. So the beats are infectious, just like the same way you mentioned earlier on with Alive. I had to go back old school. Yeah. So the beats and the melody and we were singing in the right keys because we were working with professional producers. So they, Steely and Clevie, Danny Brownie, Richard Brownie, they ensure that we were in the right key, singing good melodies. Because back then, when you walk through that studio door, when you get a chance, because it was difficult to even get past the security at the gate. When you get past the gate, man, that's step one. Step two is to get through the door of the studio. And sometimes it's a big, heavy door. And then someone has to help you to open it. So it's a reason why that door is so heavy. Because when you get through that door, it's like how hard it was to get in through that door. It wasn't just like boom and you went in. It was like, yeah, big heavy door. It was like, yeah, them door are heavy, man. Yeah, so it was, it reminds you that, you have to be very good to come through this door. Yeah, and it's always harder to get in and so easy to get out. Because when you went into the studio and you do not have a song with a good hook, if it doesn't hit the producer right away, if everyone is like looking at you like this, you're gonna head back to that door. If you're not singing on key, if you're hopeless, it's gonna be the easiest thing to get back through that door, and people may help you to get out. Yeah. So it was very, very important for us to always have like good songs pre-written before we even got to the studio. So we were making songs. We were singing songs on sound system. That's why sound system was like the prerequisite to get to where we're at. Yep. Yeah. So that was essential, and that's the reason why the artists from that generation is so good, because we were singing the songs on sound system before we even got to the studio. So we were getting approval from the audience even before the songs were recorded. Some of these songs, Stitchy and Admiral Bailey and Pliers, I remember hearing Pliers singing Murder She Wrote years before he recorded it with Shaka Demus and Pliers. I was living at a place called Big Yard. Yeah. And my cousin's sound is Small Axe. That's the sound I used to sing on as a little youth. And Pliers used to come there, and I remember him. He always sings, and he does that. Like a bunch of roses. And I just remember him singing the song years before he recorded that song and turned it into a hit. And I was like, whoa, look at that.
You mentioned a little bit about working with some of these producers, that I think were really iconic, Steely and Clevie, Danny Brownie. Do you still feel that artists of today have that same working relationship, that same working ethic between producer and artist in 2025?
Unfortunately, no. But I think they have more help than what we had. Yeah? They have autotune that can correct their vocals. So they can find which key the beat is in, and they can tune their vocals to fit. Yeah. Sometimes it's difficult for them to perform the song on stage because of key issues. But for the recording that's done in the studio, they have more help. We needed those producers to make us great, hands down. Those producers were essential to. With the production, everything was just like teamwork. Yeah, we played our part, a major part, because they could not have released just those beats, but they were very instrumental in us pushing us to even get the best songs. Because when we went to Steely and your song wasn't good, you know that I'm gonna run you out the studio. Yeah? And it was just like not like a disrespect, but like a father figure. Like, yo, you can do better than that, man. And you will leave and come back with a better song. Yeah, so the artists of today, I think they have more help in terms of technology.
Technology, yeah. But I think what you're saying is that back then you were willing to take that advice constructively, go away, work on the song, and then come back and hit it harder.
All of us. It didn't matter how great you were. I remember one time I went away on tour, and I was away for so long, and I went back to Jamaica, and Steely was like, "You're not hot to, I said, look at you in the highway and then mute there around the place." And I was like, what? So you had to pull your socks up, you have to come back to zero. Yeah. And it was always like that, new artists, came up, and you had to come again and go on the same beat with these new fresh artists. And sometimes that's one song is what took you back to the top. Yeah, and that was the situation with a lot of 90s, 2000 artists.
Yeah. I mean, I think throughout your career, you've sort of stayed consistent with working with, I'd probably say like a niche group of producers, and one person that comes to mind is Frenchie from Maximum Sounds. I mean, you've worked with Frenchie from, I would say, day one. You've kind of like, he's produced songs on some of your albums. You've been on a lot of his juggling. So, I'm thinking of songs like Crystal Ball, No Plastic Dolly, Vibes Maker, Fed Up. You two seem to have this certain chemistry that we don't see when Mr. Vegas works with other producers. What do you think about Frenchie and how his approach is to building rhythms?
Frenchie is there from day one. So he's like family.
Okay.
He is family. He's my white brother. Okay. Yeah. So, he's like real family. So even when he's not in the studio producing a Mr. Vegas song, he is producing a Mr. Vegas song, because he's the first person I sent my songs to.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like, yo, how this sound? And he was like, yeah, man, the drum sound like it was something. So he's always, like even Sweet Jamaica, he was the one who sent me the beat. Okay. He wanted to, to do something on a lecturer beat, and then I had the song, and I produced a song for the album. So I think he's executive producer on that song. Yeah. So it's Frenchie is like family. Yeah. It's never a situation where musically, I wouldn't take notes from him or advice from him.
And at the moment, it sort of feels as though Jamaican music is still influencing a lot of mainstream artists and other genres globally. As a Jamaican artist, do you feel that there is a level playing field?
Well, it's kind of difficult for us now from such a small market because of the technological era that we're in. So our streams are not as, we cannot compete with the majors. We cannot compete with the people that are going to control all the playlist on Spotify, all the playlist on Apple Music. We cannot compete with, so it's more difficult, and it's more difficult for us to get on radio, because radio is now watching, what's your numbers, your streaming numbers, yeah? And if you're not streaming, significantly high, you may never get on radio. Yeah, back in the days, our songs started growing in the clubs. The mix show DJs, the hip hop DJs, they went to the club, they played your song or they heard it and they said, "Oh, that song is big," and they started playing the songs. Then it got to radio, but now it's different. Like people are watching the internet. So with dancehall or reggae music coming from such a small market, when it comes down to streaming and that, our numbers cannot compete with the greats. And we're all now in the same pool. Yeah, we're all using Spotify, we're all using Apple Music. Yeah, so it's that's the negative impact of the new era on our music. Yeah, our numbers, we cannot compete. So it's more difficult to get our music heard. Yeah,
and I guess that's one of the reasons why, after so many years in the game, you're still here doing promotional tours, trying to get the music out there, spreading it to grassroots people as well as the mainstreams.
Definitely. So even right now we're here in England, it's just for promotion.
Yeah.
Back in the days, if we were coming for promotion, it would have been already at radio doing very well. Yeah. But back and then a song would have been a big hit in Jamaica, and then even if we came here to do promotion, it was already a big hit in Jamaica, so we would have been here like, yo, we have the #1 song in Jamaica. Now we're doing it in the reverse.
Times have changed.
Right, times have changed. Because even Jamaica, they are influenced by social media. Whatever is hot on TikTok, it may be a big song in Jamaica. Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a mainstream artist, a quote-unquote big artist. It can just be a little youth, just sing a little song, singing fried dumpling and jerk chicken, and the next thing is the biggest song in Jamaica. So now we have to take it to radio and hope that, okay, the rest of the market will see it, how it's doing so good in England, and and it's going in the charts and stuff like that. Then the rest of the market will take note. Nice. And we know that it's very important for that to happen, because the new generation, they will be like, oh, I've been trying to get on radio, because it doesn't matter if they're on the internet, if they're streaming on Spotify. Every artist, they want to be on radio. Yeah, they want to know that they're in certain charts, the Billboard, the British charts. So if they see a song in the British charts, in the Billboard charts, and whatever charts or on radio, they're going to be like, okay, I can do something like that. So that's what we hope, that we will get back there with the music where people can dance, because we can't praise it as dancehall if you can't dance.
True. Now, on my way here, I was passing through Shepherd's Bush and I passed a roti shop. I almost bought you a Trini double, because recently you had to actually go on social media to make a public apology to the people of Trinidad and Tobago about comments made about Trini doubles by Beanie Man.
My posts are not to be taken too seriously, because there can be some sarcasm in there, and there can be some honesty in there, and you have to take it for how you interpret it.
Yep.
Yeah. But when it comes on to Caribbean culture, we have to be very careful. It's very sensitive. Caribbean culture, people appreciate their culture and they love their culture. It's just like soca music. Yeah, I will never disrespect soca music. I will never go on radio and be like, yo, soca music now go on with nothing. Because I know how much Trinidad people appreciate and love their music. While we Jamaicans, we will be like, yo, dancehall dead. Yeah? And someone from outside can say, dancehall dead. And we do not, revert like, yo, it's a part of our culture. What you talk about? And make noise and be like, yo, rebuke it. Our music can't die, So we have to be very careful how we speak on culture. Yeah, but we learn from it. And I think Trinidad should capitalize, and maybe capitalizing from this promotion, doubles promotion.
Yep.
Yeah, because everyone now wants to know what is doubles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are intrigued.
Yeah, man. And I think Trinidad should not be manufacturing doubles on the double. Yeah.
Now, Jamaican music, there's always been lots of family connections. The most obvious ones, the Marley family, the Heritage family, the McGregors, Jimmy Riley, Taurus Riley. I could go on. But one connection our viewers may not know is how Mr. Vegas is connected to a legendary group, the Tamlins.
Yeah, Carlton from the Tamlins. I was speaking to him last night. Yeah, man, that's my brother. A lot of inspiration there, because I grew up watching them on concerts and just trying to find out whatever information I could find out about the group, and just learning growing up that they had the #1 song in Jamaica in 1980, Baltimore. I was like, whoa. And my brother's in that group, and I used to use it as a way to get girls to. I was like, "Yo, my brother a singer, So
he's one of the founding members from the 70s, right? Alongside Junior Moore and Winston Morgan.
Yeah, man. Tamlins. Yes, big group. Man.
Big group. Yeah. You kind of maintain your relevance on social media, and we touched on this a moment ago. You connect with your fans regularly. Some people say you're not afraid to speak your mind, and you're very, very vocal, right?
Yeah. I try to be balanced. Sometimes it does not come off that way, but that's what my aim or my intention is.
I think that apart from the sarcasm and the things that might sort of happen instantly because of an incident, you've been really vocal about a lot of more serious issues outside of music, social justice, mental health. How important is it for artists like yourself to use their voice beyond the music?
I think that came about, after I left university. I graduated from university and what I majored in. sociology and anthropology. So because of that, and I learned so much about humans and the world and societies and stuff like that. It feels natural to when I see social injustice, or when I see social issues, not to speak on it, and it's competing. It's like there's a competition with, okay, shut up and do music, or speak about social issues. Yeah, and there's a divide, because some people would rather for me to just go away, just go do music, and some people welcome me speaking on social issues, whether it's in the political arena, whether it's in music, whether it's in just a society, whether it's a social construct, whatever it is. Some people appreciate it, some don't, because they want to hear music.
But I mean, so much so that you've actually got your own YouTube channel, Let's Talk Politics with Mr. Vegas.
Yes, because I wanted to separate
the music
from that. But then I realized that, just learning more about politics and that vibe, I realized there can be a divide with people that it, speaking on it may come off as less helpful, because now you're creating enemies. And I don't want to create enemies. I don't want, because of a color of a political party, or the love for a political party, let me and my brothers or sisters, at odds. That's not what my intentions are, because I don't see political colors. I see humans. Yeah.
Well, look, it sounds like there's quite a lot of things happening here in 2025. You touched on a new reggae project with a female artist. Yeah. Am I allowed to say who that female artist is? No. Am I allowed to say it?
No. Because I want it to be something special.
Okay.
Because she's so good that and I think I can do even more. I just want, when you get it, it hits you. It's like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got that to look forward to.
Very soon.
An album as well, because the last album I think it was released was 2018, Ism.
Yeah, Ism album was about 2018. Yeah. So I think I'm due now, but it's a good time, because I think I have the buzz. We're playing on pop radio in the US. We're getting some good plays here in England, and we're just popping up everywhere with Alive 2025. And it's doing what we wanted it to do, the main thing that I wanted it to do, like to create a musical buzz for Mr. Vegas. Because I know once, we hit the ground with something and the people started gravitating towards Mr. Vegas's music, then we know that it's problems.
True.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about shows and things. What have we got lined up for 2025 in terms of live shows? Because I know that a lot of our viewers are dying to see Mr. Vegas live once again.
Well, we have a concert coming up here in the summer. I think in July. Then we're gonna go to Europe. Okay. We're gonna do the festivals there in Europe. So we're gonna be on this side, and then we have Reggae Fest in New York this year again, and we did it last year. And this year I think it's gonna be bigger. So we're on the road, and we're doing a lot of promotional tours as well. From for 2025, we're just hitting the ground.
Yep.
Just music. We have Put Me to Work, from our Virgin Tiger Tie, is the second single it's doing very well also. So we're just putting out music.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, I want to give thanks to you for spending a little bit of time sharing a little bit about the background to Alive, some of your sort of back catalogue as well, and also what's coming up as well. I also want to give a big thanks to Ray and Frenchie and all the rest of the Mr. Vegas management team for making this link up possible today as well. We give thanks.
Yeah, man. Adrian, Ray, Frenchie, the whole team, and even you for come so far. If you ever sit down here, yeah, man. Big up on yourself. Mad.
Enough respect. Bless.
Reggae Interviews. Word Sound Power.